fabulous friends and fans. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you so much for being here. I've been getting a lot of messages lately through my website asking me to comment on Occupy Wall Street, and I thank you so much for the request. Occupy Wall Street, astrologers are unanimously putting this to, or identifying this with, the square between Uranus and Pluto. Now, so far, we're sort of only getting a little taste about what's to come, because this conversation, this celestial conversation, will be exact between 2012 and 2015. Now, whenever these two power players in the sky speak, it does suggest and it does indicate a time when people are demanding social change of some kind. And there's also a demand of equality of some kind as well. However, with this particular conversation, what I have found in looking at it historically, we saw something like this in the 30s. We saw something sort of like this in the 60s as well, when it was actually a conjunction and not a square. But the thing is that the only way that these social movements that arise now tend to work is when they are committed to a path of non-violence. Pluto is really strong. Pluto is power. And Pluto in Capricorn in particular is showing us some societal powers that are out there. And Uranus is all about freedom. Uranus is all about equality. Uranus is thinking about the future. And under the square in the 30s, what we saw was the start of a lot of social programs. They started around that time. And also in the 60s, they were further reinforced during the conjunction. And what we also saw at that time was sort of the beginning, the rise of Gandhi's message in the 30s. And in the 60s, we saw, of course, Martin Luther King and his message of nonviolence as well. And those are the movements that really stand out as being most effective because they were rooted in nonviolence, because they understood how strong that Pluto is, that that power is there. But if we can stand simply in being individuals, just taking up space as a person, and Uranus being a planet of individuality, of independence, and keep a vision towards the future, because that's Uranus represents as well, then those movements are the ones that tend to be the most successful. And this will be especially important once we head into 2012. Because in 2012, Neptune will move into the sign of Pisces, and Saturn will move into the sign of Scorpio. Now, both of these placements are going to further reinforce or further support that Pluto up there in the sign of Capricorn. But of course, Uranus can hold its own and has held its own. Regardless of where you are on the issue, I've strived very hard here to just be as neutral as possible and to just read the signs. And so I have to say, with Neptune there and with Saturn there, both providing support, at least by sign, to Pluto and Capricorn, there's going to be a lot of support there for the way that things already are and the way that the establishment already is. And that power is going to further be enforced of Pluto. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of hope for those people who desire social change in Uranus, and that doesn't mean that they can't absolutely be successful, but they are going to have to absolutely be committed to a path of non-violence. The other thing I did want to reiterate here, just as a note, because we are coming up to the exact of this square between 2012 and 2015, the world is going to go through a lot of changes, and I really do believe that we've heard this phrase that says Arab Spring, European summer, and an American autumn sort of go around these days in the media, and we really are approaching a phase, and it is for the long haul. These changes are going to be taking place over 2012 right to 2015, but it's nothing to fear. My hope is that as long as we stay rooted in love, that we will allow the fear to diminish somewhat. And as long as we stay rooted in love, we can recognize that humanity has been through many cycles like this before, and these are changing times, certainly. And the revolution will not likely be televised as well. I mean, Pluto is strong, and Pluto does rule, Capricorn does rule social structures, and Pluto in there is particularly strengthening those structures. But with faith in our hearts and with a commitment to love, and especially a personal commitment to love, because the fear is so strong and the anger is so strong. But if we can personally commit to a path that is loving, then there are great changes that can be initiated in these coming years. Whatever side of any issue you're on, or even if you haven't chosen a side yet, I am wishing you personally strength in your commitment to love. It has regularly and historically proven to be truly the most powerful force on earth. Thank you so much for watching. Until we connect again, take care. Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to my brand new online show, Nadiya Shah Productions, featuring inspiring, positive, and uplifting people, places, and events in the areas of astrology, New Age spirituality, and art. You can catch full episodes and your daily horoscopes and so much more on my website, nadiyashah.com. Until we connect again, take care.